BM25 cannot rank documents it never matches. SymSpell fixes misspelled queries before retrieval, so typo-heavy searches can still reach the right candidates. You'll learn the shape of a workflow that autocorrects typoed queries and ranks documents for BM25 retrieval. I'm Professor Pi, teaching search and IR with simple Python. Search failure often comes down to spelling. Someone types a brand wrong or swaps two letters. BM25 is a solid lexical retriever, but it only works when query tokens hit the index. If nothing matches, BM25 returns noise or zeros, and the right document never surfaces. SymSpell is a very fast spelling corrector. It builds a compact dictionary of valid tokens and suggests corrections by exploring small edits. The trick is simple. Teach SymSpell the same words BM25 will score. When a user mistypes, fix the query first, then ask BM25 to rank. That swap can turn a 0 into a confident hit. We will build a tiny toy that proves the point. You will see BM25 fail on a single misspelled brand. Then teach SymSpell the exact tokens, correct the query, and rescore to restore the right document. Quick note, this code is designed to teach the core idea clearly. Library versions and local setups can vary, so check the official docs if your setup behaves differently. First, we show how BM25 collapses on a single misspelled brand token. This snippet demonstrates what happens when a single misspelled token wipes out BM25's ability to score. Every document gets a 0. I keep the docs list tiny and lowercase it for tokenized docs, so BM25Okapi mirrors the lexical index engineers already deploy. By passing typo query into BM25.getScores with no correction, every score comes back 0, because FlexCorreg never existed in the corpus. The printed typo top doc equals ID 0 flex charge with score equals 0.00 confirms BM25 finds no lexical evidence despite picking a tie-breaking document. Next, we teach SymSpell the vocabulary taken directly from those documents, so corrections align with the retriever. This example seeds SymSpell with corpus terms, so it can recover the brand when asked. Which dictionary should you trust when BM25 relies on domain-specific vocabulary? Counter gathers token counts straight from the same documents powering BM25, so SymSpell shares the exact lexical universe. Create dictionary entry injects those counts into SymSpell, letting lookup search for typo query within a spelling graph built from your data. The printed SymSpell token equals flex charge with edits equals 2 shows SymSpell recovers the brand despite the 2-character swap. Now, we plug the corrected query back into BM25 and compare scores to quantify the gain. This code shows the ranking lift you get when BM25 sees the fixed query instead of the typo. Lookup compound handles typo query and emits corrected query, which I immediately split for BM25.getScores. The fixed scores list is compared against typo scores, so you can quantify the gain SymSpell unlocks. The printed corrected top doc.id 0 flex charge and score gain 0.51 prove rescoring after correction restores the missing lexical signal. Users often send messy multi-word requests. We next test how aggressive correction should be. This snippet compares a strict versus a forgiving edit budget on a noisy multi-word query. How aggressive should your correction budget be when users mangle both words and numbers? Noisy query simulates that mixed error, and I run lookup compound twice with max edit distance set to 1 and 2. The strict path preserves the misspelled brand because one edit cannot fix the transposed characters, while the loose path repairs both tokens. The printed max 1 correction and max 2 correction strings make the recall versus precision trade-off visible at a glance. Finally, we make a tiny retrieval helper that always runs correction first, and then BM25. This example wraps SymSpell and BM25 into a reusable retrieval helper, so correction happens automatically. How do you operationalize the correction plus search flow so every request benefits automatically? Retrieve with correction calls lookup compound upfront, then routes the fixed query tokens for BM25 get scores without duplicating setup. Returning both the cleaned query and the doc tag gives downstream re-rankers context or logging hooks instantly. The printed final top doc, corrected query, and score equals 0.51. Confirm the helper stitches correction and retrieval into one reliable response. In a real project, you would log corrections, track when SymSpell changed a token, and use that signal for analytics or human review. For larger corpora, build the SymSpell dictionary once from your token stream and persist it. If you later add a neural re-ranker, the corrected query can feed the re-ranker for a second relevance pass. Quick recap. Fix the query first, then run BM25. This lets a lexical retriever surface the right documents when users misspell domain words or brands. Tune the edit budget carefully. Too aggressive correction can change user intent, so monitor and adjust. Next step. Tune the correction budget and BM25 parameters together by running a small labeled set so you measure precision and recall trade-offs for max edit distance and BM25 K1 and B. If short practical IR helps, subscribe and watch the IR videos.